When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
News team, assemble!
It's back and bigger than ever. It's the Unofficial 40 from Soonerscoop.com. Now, here's the entire Sooner Scoop crew. Carrie, Josh, Eddie, and
George.
All right, welcome back. It is a college football playoff edition of the Unofficial 40 podcast right here on Campus Corner. Beautiful Norman, Oklahoma, as we await the world to descend on our fine city on Friday evening as Alabama is headed to town for a rematch. And most of the interview process is done. We do have one last Zoom with Brent Venables coming up tomorrow, which, boy, Zooms have just been a pleasure, haven't they? Getting back on those things.
It is pretty remarkable how many people have forgotten how to mute themselves on a Zoom.
And then we had kind of a weird audio glitch going on yesterday. I know Eli Letterman from ESPN wasn't able to ask a question directly. I think Myron Patton tried to ask a question at some point, and it was just an audio disaster, which I'm not judging. I certainly have been a part of my share of those over the years. So welcome in Josh McQuistion from Houston, who will actually be in Oklahoma this weekend, although we don't know if you're going to the game or not. I don't think you are you? It's family time. And you've muted yourself.
Damn it. I was literally laughing at people that practiced on Zoom and muted myself.
It's not just Zoom. It's not just people on Zooms.
Yep. It's me too. So, damn it. It's been a while. I had a good winning streak there, but that's over now. Yeah, be up in Oklahoma. Got some. The Pops is not doing so great, so going to go check in on him and make sure that's. Hear. Yeah. I think it's going to be all right. So, but definitely thinking about him and hoping that's going to be okay. But that's not going to get to make it to the game. So, but we'll definitely be watching and have all the normal content, all that good stuff. So,
well, and. When does the Navy game happen? It's not the Army game anymore. Navy. That's like after the Under Armour.
Yeah, this year the Under Armour is right around New Year's. Like, in fact, I'm going to be flying to. Guys, you want to talk about my hellscape? I'm flying to Orlando, Florida on New Year's Eve. That is talk about good. Just a nightmare. Yeah, not happy about that. And going to spend a couple days down there. I'll come back, and then San Antonio. But the good news for OU fans is there's like 20, 25 guys that are relevant to OU in the two games. So it should be there should be a lot to come out of those 2 weeks. But, yeah, the Under Armour is January 3rd, and then Navy is now January 10th, the following weekend.
Okay, so all of that stuff to come after. We don't know what's ahead for us. I mean, if OU wins, then we're out to L.A., and you're playing Indiana probably. Well, not probably. They're already in the game. They don't have to have a play-in because they're the number one seed. And then, if they could beat Indiana, they go to the Peach Bowl. But we were out at practice yesterday, and I think the big thing to take away is our Mason Thomas looked good to me. I mean, he looked like a guy that's pretty much full go. We did get an email just before we started the show from the College Football Playoff that tonight, just after 7, will be the first injury report. Or what are they even? Availability report?
Availability report, yeah.
So we'll find out exactly who is listed there. We saw Jake Maikkula. You guys weren't. I had a. You guys were talking about it on the practice report last night. I think one of you said it looked like he'd lost some weight.
I thought he looked like he did.
Could he have had mono, maybe?
I don't know what he had. I mean, he was in the hospital, so that's pretty serious.
Sometimes you're in the hospital with mono, though, aren't you?
I don't know. I had mono in college and did not have to go to the hospital, but I did feel like I was dying for 2 weeks. So
2 whole weeks, huh?
And I lost a lot of weight during it. But I don't know. He didn't. To me, guys, R. Mason, I think, is definitely playing just based on the 15 minutes we got to see, and also just hearing some of the stuff we've heard, which is that he's been out at practice and doing some stuff. I don't know how much, but he's been out there. I think he's going to play. I think Maikkula will be available, but he won't start. Like, I think it's a break glass in case of emergency type situation. He was not doing a whole lot yesterday at practice other than just some drills on air. And maybe he gets in there, but at this point you have to remember it is now, yesterday was basically Tuesday practice. They're a few days away from the game. I think they're going to try and get Febechi Wiwu, and I'm assuming last week Febechi Wiwu took all of the first team reps at center. And if you're putting in a game plan, I don't think you want to switch up the offensive line, and which means Ryan Foja, a true freshman, has to, switch up what he's learned. I think that you don't want to deal with that.
Eddie, how are you doing today? You're quiet.
Yeah, I'm so sick of talking about this game. I'm ready to get there. I'm ready to get to Friday.
It's the biggest game in 6 years, and you're just like, I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not saying that. I'm ready to get to the game.
Jesus Christ.
I think we all are. I mean, we're doing the pod on a Tuesday.
Let me guess. OU's going to need to maybe force a couple turnovers. The offense going to need to play. I just feel like we've been talking about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's jaded.
Not jaded. Just very excited for Friday.
Means.
I don't know if you know what excited means.
I know what both of you means.
I like this, Eddie. We've graduated to a place where he can yell at us and cuss at us, and no one's storming off of the show.
It has no effect on me whatsoever.
I've never walked out on the show. That's first off.
Have you not?
Second off.
I have. Have I?
Well, I mean, let's just, yeah.
George has.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've walked off. If not this show, another show that I do, I've walked off of that definitely. Anyway, no, but
not jaded, just excited.
Okay.
I just I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time.
We've done like one practice, one
I'm saying
report.
in general.
Is this because it's a rematch?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I just don't think that there's a whole lot more that can be said. I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about it by any means.
I mean,
just,
we know
excited about the opportunity that comes. I've told my couple buddies being out at practice yesterday. I'm already to the point of John Mateer's going to throw for 450, and they're going to go. And I'll use the exact vernacular that I used in the text message thread. They're gonna be ready to go Cincinnati in the face on next week or whenever the Rose Bowl is going to be. I'm already in Indiana. I'm just kidding, by the way. Big game. And I do think
forgotten how to mark this many F-bombs this early in the show.
I do think that there are certain challenges, and I think this has kind of been one of the big talking points that maybe we were going to focus on today's practice report in talking to a couple of the guys, whether it be Taylor Wine or whether it be Kendall Daniels. Eli Bowen even talked about it during the kind of that bye week off or whatever leading into this past week. Was just the fact that they didn't play very well defensively the first time around. And I think that from a mentality standpoint, Brent Venables and company have kind of pounded that into their brain over the last couple of weeks. And I expect to see a pretty good defensive effort on Friday night.
It'll be 16 days since they played when this game kicks off. And
16? Isn't it longer than that, right?
I think maybe it was 16 yesterday.
Because it's December 16th today, so that was...
Yesterday it was 16 days since they had last played, so it'll be...
I think it'll be 20, 18, right?
19, 20, yeah.
It'd be 20, it'd be one shy of, yeah.
But, I mean, what I'm getting at is they are out there full go practice, and that's a lot of what Ben Arbuckle talked about yesterday was just, making sure that they're not, loose with the football and... think that they're not slacking on anything because it has been such. I mean, Alabama played a week after Oklahoma did, so they're a little bit probably less rusty. But also, you can't deny that OU in some key positions needed this time. I mean, we saw Xavier Robinson yesterday. He still had the knee brace on, looked good, and I'm sure for us it's a little bit of a surprise. But to go out there and see Javonte Barnes, I know he's been doing that this whole time. But just seeing him out there, and I kind of got, this is very Eddie might appreciate this because I was getting peppered this morning about Javonte Barnes questions like, what, how much could he, like, we know what Javonte Barnes is. He's just a guy. I mean, it's great for depth, yeah. And it's great if you need somebody that's experienced that can pick up, a blitzer or something like that in the passing game. But outside of that, he's not going to magically go out there and rush for 100 against Alabama. I mean, you still need Torrey Blaylock and Xavier Robinson to be relatively healthy if you're going to have a good running game on Friday.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed-sponsored jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A third and long that you've got to convert, second half, great. Put Javonte Barnes out there, let him pass block, sneak him out if he can, whatever. But beyond that, I couldn't agree more, Kerry. Like this idea, I don't think most people have this idea. But if anyone has the idea that he's suddenly going to fix Oklahoma's running back problems, like don't do that to yourself. That's not what's going to happen.
It's a little bit like people that wanted to see Michael Hawkins after Mateer's surgery when he wasn't playing so well. It's like what you have in Michael Hawkins, and it's not going to magically make you better on offense. So yeah, I mean, we talked to Ben Arbuckle, we talked to Brent Venables yesterday. We did a practice report. All that stuff is up on Sooner Scoop on the YouTube page. You can go watch it. But I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed Brent. He had a lot of energy yesterday.
He seemed very focused.
Yeah.
It went from, when we talked to him on the Zoom after they got the rankings, where it was a lot of big picture stuff, it felt like on that, and just like rematch with Alabama. Yesterday was much more felt like a game week in terms of the way that he spoke to the media. And he went for a long time, though.
40 minutes, I think, was it, Eddie?
Yeah. It was like 38, 39, something like that. 40.
But I thought it was kind of interesting. You played the clip for Cliff Brunn asked him about the ups and downs of being the head coach and stuff, and I asked him about kind of coaching for him because he seems like such a psycho. You wonder is it a bear to coach for Brent Venables? And I don't think that it is, but I thought that part of it was kind of interesting, and just because I've told you guys this before, I would love to sit down and just talk about what he thinks leadership is and where he drew from. What was interesting yesterday is he mentioned Bob Stoops, he mentioned Bill Snyder, he mentioned Mike Stoops, he mentioned
Mark Mangino, Jim LeVay.
And Jim Levitt. He didn't mention Dabo.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
It was like the first one that he mentioned.
I missed that then.
He mentioned him last, but he did mention him.
Okay. Well, then my conspiracy is out the window. But outside of that, I mean, he didn't. I sat there and just kind of chuckled when you asked him about injuries, which you're taking the bullet for the team, and everybody appreciates.
I
that.
had to ask.
Yeah.
I had some people in my mentions, as I always do, that was like, "What a stupid question! Why would you ask that?" It's like, oh, it's only like two of the most important players on the team in the biggest game in 6 years.
Here's why you asked that, because you'd have more people asking you why you didn't ask that. Yeah,
exactly. So, but it was I thought. I mean, it was revealing. He said that they are expected to practice this week, both Maikkula and R. Mason.
And we saw that with our own eyes yesterday.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys this: something or nothing? John Mateer, no hand wrap at practice.
I think it's not nothing. I didn't even notice it the first time that we were out there. Obviously, it was kind of brought to our attention on Twitter during the recording of the post-practice report last night, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily would lean to the side that because he's been wearing the wrap is one of the reasons that he hasn't played well.
Yeah, I don't.
Or is that just a game day thing?
Yeah, I don't think that means he's going to go out.
He wears it during practice because he's come in like
to the media
and stuff on Monday nights, and you can tell that he's wearing the or he's been wearing it. You can tell where the wrap went.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I certainly think that, what did we kind of estimate that it's been 2.5 months almost since the surgery? You would think just over the progression of healing, just in general, it should be in a much better spot today than it was even the last time that Oklahoma played.
You noticed, Eddie, when you were cutting up the video, the mark on his hand, and we were playing that, and then I went back and looked at my photos, and there's some pretty nasty scar there. Like, it was not like a small incision. Like and remember, he's been bleeding from that.
Well, he's been playing through basically an injury. I mean, he came back 17 days after surgery.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a noticeable scarring there on his thumb. I took the pictures and blew them up and showed you guys on Slack last night. But that was a pretty traumatic deal. I mean, when you see those scars, you're like, okay, that was a bigger deal than we might have thought.
But I also think it's a bigger deal than it actually was too. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think that I'm kind of over the idea that it's because of this hand surgery that he hasn't been playing well, I guess is ultimately what I would come to.
I know we've talked about it. I mean, I think it's confidence as much as anything too, just kind of, and the level of competition. I mean, you play Alabama, LSU, Missouri's defenses to finish out the season. That's going to make anybody's offense look kind of shitty.
I thought it's still rather unpopular to say, but I came out of the LSU game feeling better about what they're doing in the passing game.
I did too.
Than I had all season.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana
scored 2 bad mistakes, 2 interceptions. The third one, bad throw. You can't make it.
The first one was,
but he was pressured.
The first one was, I would say, not his fault. That was the tipped ball one.
Yeah, that was tipped.
The last 2 were bad.
I thought
throws.
it was a bad throw.
The one that was tipped?
It was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Right. Either way, doesn't matter.
So, yeah, I mean, look.
Ultimately, I feel better about the passing game.
You do?
Yeah.
I do too. I'm with
100%.
Eddie on that, yeah.
I just wanted, I mean, you said something positive and it shocked me.
I don't know how I've become the negative guy on this podcast.
I don't think any of us are that negative.
I mean,
Except when they lose.
playing in the college football playoff. It's kind of like both sides of it are true. They can play better, and I think that Friday night is massive for Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer, but I also think that it's kind of what they said yesterday or on Monday with the media stuff, that they are 10-2. Like at the beginning of the season, if you would have said this group getting here, you were going to have to do something right. I know it hasn't always been picture perfect, but
it's kind of interesting to me because, like, I went into this thing not in my own mind, not making Mateer and Arbuckle the main storyline. I mean, to me, the main storyline is can this defense play even better? I mean, they gave up 21 points. They were really good in the second half, and now that Brent Venables has seen that offense and what they do, and and they pretty much led to Ty Simpson, and kind of fading away here late in the season. Like, can they even be better on defense? Like, that's what in my mind, that's what I'm looking at with this game more than, okay, can the offense finally get on track? Because I don't really expect them to be honest with you.
No, and Kerry, you bring up a really good point that I think people have forgotten. Going into that first game, Ty Simpson might have been the Heisman favorite and wasn't even in New York last night or Saturday night. So, like, it is crazy how much that's changed. And I've compared it before a lot to the Tennessee meeting last year when it seemed like OU kind of threw some stuff at Nico that he wasn't ready for, and Tennessee never looked the same again. And I kind of feel like that's been Alabama because people can look at that 28-7 score and say, well, that late touchdown, Alabama's trying to score. That game wasn't 28-7 close. Like, I feel like Alabama could have had 10 possessions, and they weren't scoring on Georgia. That wasn't going to happen. So I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of, it's Alabama, they've got a lot of talent, which of course they do, but they've not shown a lot of life. Somebody was doing I believe it was yards per play since that Oklahoma game. Oklahoma's offense and Alabama's offense in that time are very comparable.
Yeah, I think just a lot of people have adjusted knowing that their running game isn't a factor. They've put more of an emphasis, I think, when they prepare to take away some of that outside screen game. And, they, just like what Oklahoma did, they find someone to be a free blitzer, usually a linebacker. Sometimes Brent will send corners like he sent, who was it?
Day-Day.
Jordan?
Davon Jordan.
Had a sack in that game. But, I mean, let's face it, you have to be able to run the ball to me. To me, it's not about Mateer and his arm. What was it, 80 to 74? Was that the rushing yardage?
Something around there, yeah.
I mean, and Alabama won the rushing battle, if you want to call it that. They barely won it. But OU's got to be able to run for close to 100 yards in this game. If they want to win it without having to have some magical plays on defense. And they've got to have some of those too.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, people, the whole turnover thing. Turnovers happen when you play good defense, like to a degree. There's some luck because we saw OU play great defense early in the year and turnovers weren't happening. So you have to acknowledge there is some good and bad fortune that comes in with that. But, like, turning those into touchdowns all the time, that's a different argument. Like, that's not – you can't expect that to happen. I don't care how good you are defensively. That's not the way it goes. So I agree. Like, if you can just find a semblance of a running game, I kind of agree with Eddie and George that the passing game has shown you enough, and we know Alabama's going to pour resources at Isaiah Satania because that's obviously been Oklahoma's most dangerous weapon. So they've got to do some stuff there. They've got to find some ways to just loosen Alabama up a little bit and kind of allow some man stuff. Try to find some one-on-ones, because if they can do that and Mateer is more accurate and more comfortable like we saw him at times early in the year, there's probably going to be some plays there, again, if you've softened them even a little bit with your run game.
All right, nobody's really enjoyed this playoff run as much as Will over at Cody Drug. And with OU in the playoffs, they're trying to help celebrate, New Year's and making it to New Year's. So while the team's geared up for a championship run, you can start your own run toward your New Year's goals, whether you're looking to drop weight, boost energy, or just feel better heading into 2026. Cody Drug has you covered. They offer multiple custom compounded peptide-based weight loss options, including popular GLP-1 medications and performance-focused peptides that help you recover faster, burn fat, and stay sharp. Cody Drug also loves teaming up with Oklahoma med spas and longevity clinics to deliver high-quality peptides quickly, safely, and with top-tier service. So while the Sooners chase a title, let's chase those resolutions together. Visit CodyDrugRx.com to learn more and see how you can get started. Cody Drug, personalized medicine built for champions. And go check him out at CodyDrugRx.com. Go check out Will's Instagram page for Cody Drug RX at CodyDrugRx. So, and I know Josh, a happy client of Cody Drug as well. Eddie, I don't think we have to worry about, we haven't talked about this, but you're going to be up in the press box. George and I were trying to go through maybe like a little binocular seminar, but you're like, I don't need it. I got to enjoy.
Yeah, thanks to my good friends over at Enjoy. The holiday season is upon us, and so are the savings at Enjoy Vision during holidays of LASIK. Now through the end of the year, you can save $600, an incredible $600 on LASIK and lens replacement. What we're going to want you to do here, listen to these instructions closely. Schedule your LASIK or lens replacement consultation today at enjoyvision.com. That is the letter N, Joy, vision.com. And it'll be pretty easy. Get in there, get your consultation, and then you'll be set up for LASIK or lens replacement. Happy Merry Savings. Enjoy Vision. This is where Sooner Scoop LASIKs.
Yeah, and I thought, back to yesterday's press conference, I thought it was I think fans liked hearing Ben Arbuckle say that basically they have to do a lot of things different, and it would be coaching malpractice if they didn't. So I mean, he said that he's been part of rematches before. Brent's certainly been part of them, but it is interesting, kind of the mental gymnastics that's going to go on here between these two staffs to either take away what worked the first time or find other things that worked that maybe they thought they were close on. I mean, obviously, you saw some plays from Giovanni Gibson in that game. You saw Jermichael Carter do a little bit. Could they be more involved? If like you say, I think, George, you brought it up about doing more to try and take away Satania. And, then you have the Eli Bowen, Ryan Williams matchup that has seemingly gone in his favor 2 years in a row. They really didn't let those guys get free that you were worried about. And I guess Jai Miller's going to be back, or Jay Miller. What?
Jam Miller.
Jam Miller. That's right. He's coming back. I did watch
played in the
Kalen
first game,
DeBoer's.
too.
Yeah, he played in the first game too. And the Hill guy was the guy that hurt him, but he was out for the SEC championship game.
Yeah, it sounds like. I mean, I don't think LT Overton's going to play though.
Really, I haven't heard that update. So
he hasn't been at practice, I guess.
Okay.
But I do expect Jam Miller and then the tight end Cuevas, which Cuevas, I will say, hasn't been a huge participant in practice, but I bet he plays. But the question for them, I guess the rumor is Ty Simpson might be a little bit banged up. I don't know how serious it is. Like, obviously he's going to play.
Asking me about his back.
Yeah, I know he said yesterday that it's a non-issue, but
yeah, I watched his press conference yesterday.
But if you hit him a few times, who knows?
Yeah,
if
it's tweaked, it could get retweaked. Josh, you muted yourself again.
Yeah, it's twice. Well, the streak was fun while it lasted.
We will not be letting you on the Brent Venables Zoom tomorrow.
Yeah, you can't be on that.
At least I mute myself.
True.
Like, I'd rather be muted than have all the background noise. But no, fair. It's fair just the same. Yeah, with the Simpson stuff, there's just too much smoke. Like, something's not right. Like you wouldn't hear it from all these places, and there's no, I don't know, the dismissal of it seems too abrupt. Like, it feels like something's off, and it would explain a lot, because the guy I watched as we were getting ready, for Oklahoma to go to Alabama, and I'm doing under the hood and that stuff, I haven't seen that guy since the Oklahoma game. Like, he has not looked the same at any point. And so I don't know when this originated, when this would be, but it would explain a lot, because, guys, going into that OU game, I was like, this guy's going to be the first pick next year. Like, this is going to happen. And he doesn't look like he looks like a guy that needs to come back since then.
Yeah, you're right, Eddie. This is hard to talk about.
I mean, we've talked about everything. I do think, though, that it's not so much about like the ins and outs of the game, but I do think that from where this thing was, and I know that we've talked about this as well, it's phenomenal that they're standing. And I do think that you go into Friday with, I don't know, like a cautious, guarded optimism that they're closer to winning a college football playoff game than I think any of us would have thought that they would have been, even at the beginning of the season or even within the last maybe, I don't know, month, especially with the way that Alabama, and it just seems like I don't know if turmoil is the right way to say it, because I don't think that like the DeBoer stuff has been a distraction by any means, but I don't know. Am I just caught up in the spirit of the season, if you will, to say, I think OU is just a better football team.
I think right now they are. Like, I think that's where the optimism is like OU has played some of its best football in terms of
OU is going up. Yeah, Alabama is going down.
OU found ways to win throughout November, whereas Alabama really limped into the SEC championship game and then got their ass beat. And there might be something to be said that maybe that wakes them up, or I don't, not that they needed to be, woken up, but certainly maybe it's a turning point for them if they can go on a run. But it does feel like Oklahoma should be optimistic heading into this. And I do think that there's something to be said about the chip on their shoulder and nobody thinks they can win and all that crap. I mean, I think there's part of that team that loves that.
I'm hesitant to say this, but as I was getting around to come to the office, I just, gathering stuff up, making sure I had everything, I kind of had a little moment where I was like, I think OU could maybe win this game pretty easily.
I don't know about that. I'm not there
not
yet.
Not easily, but big.
I do think that...
I think
That would require the offense to really start moving the football.
I know it would, but
Like they did last time out.
here's
Yeah,
the
but I
thing.
mean, like, I don't know.
I know what you mean, though. You got to finish.
I'm sitting there and I'm watching. Like I just turn it on ESPN as I'm getting ready, and I see all the same stuff that we've been seeing, which is people still think Alabama is Alabama, and I don't think that they are.
I think I'm kind of like, is it bad to use and this might be a terrible example, but I heard, it was somebody, they were talking about NFL stuff, and they were talking about the Chiefs. And I think at some point you just kind of keep expecting the Chiefs or whomever you can throw into this mix, really good teams to just wake up and go, they're back to what we kind of learned them to be over the last decade or so. I just don't know if we're still waiting for this Alabama thing to come on, and they are that team. Now, I do think like during that 4-week stretch where they were winning all the top 25 games, I kind of had bought back into this idea that, okay, maybe everybody overreacted a little bit to the way that they played against Florida State. But at the same time, I think that they kind of are what they are, right?
Did you watch Sooner Sports Talk this week?
Yes.
When Brent got a hold of the roster,
Yeah.
and he was like, "We tried to recruit this guy. We recruited
They got
that
a
guy.
bunch
We
of
thought we
dudes.
were going to get that dude." Like they still have a bunch of dudes on that roster. I just don't know. It's like anything else. It's like this Oklahoma team. They just clicked at some point. Like they're playing better than the sum of their parts.
Yeah, I would also say Oklahoma has a lot of talent too.
They do. I'm not saying
Like
that they don't, but I'm saying they kind of caught fire a little bit.
Yeah.
And Alabama, like they would catch fire under Nick Saban. It would all come together, and they would all grow in confidence, and it would make everyone better on this that was on the field at the same time. I don't feel that with Alabama at all.
I think Kerry, to your point about I don't think OU's going to blow Alabama out.
I don't either.
But if you were to tell me one team was going to win this game handily, I would probably pick Oklahoma. Like I don't think that Alabama just walks in and wins by 2 touchdowns.
It certainly helps going into it that they've already done this once, which is kind of crazy because do you guys, I saw this was tweeted out by Blake Byler this morning. Alabama, how many times have they been beaten by the same team in the same season? Anybody know?
I don't know. Brent Venables probably knows, though.
It's happened once.
Was it like when football first started and people were dying?
Didn't he say it was like 1893 or something?
132 years ago, 1893, Alabama lost 2 games to the Birmingham Athletic Club in the program's second year of varsity football.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
How many times, though, have they played
That's a great question.
2 teams in one, or the same team in 1 year?
It's a great question. I don't know the answer to that.
It's like this is only the second time.
They played...
Georgia, they would have played...
They've definitely done it a few times over the last decade or so because of the SEC championship.
Yeah.
It's happened 7 times. Ironically enough, it will have happened twice this year. That they've played a team twice. It's happened 7 times. 1892, they played Birmingham Athletic Club. 1893, it happened again with Birmingham Athletic Club. Then you would have to go all the way to 1999. They played Florida twice, beat them twice. 2011, they infamously played LSU twice, losing to them in the regular season 9-6, and then beating them in the national championship 21-0. And then Georgia in 21, they went 1-1. And then they played Georgia twice this year, and they'll play OU twice this year. Kind of crazy. And I guess
this
Oklahoma hasn't happened very often, but I guess within terms of experience in doing so,
it did feel like
Brent
it happened
Venables
a
has
lot
done it.
in the Big 12 for a few years.
Well, it happened
Iowa
every year
State,
from
Texas,
17 to 21.
Baylor.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, though.
So, yes, all that said, it still is what it is. I mean, here's the thing to me. Would we all agree that Oklahoma has the better defense in this game?
Yes. And that to me is why I feel kind of good is like if you're going to say, okay, you can pick one unit on the field.
In a rematch situation?
If you can pick one unit in this game on the field that you trust the most in this game, you can pick Alabama's offense, their defense, Oklahoma's offense, Oklahoma's defense, special teams for both sides. I'm picking Oklahoma's defense.
I'm taking OU's defense, and then I'm taking OU's special teams because the disparity between those two units is probably leaps and bounds the biggest difference in the game.
And that was a big part of them losing the game. I mean, you could talk about defense, but the punt return by Satania, and then the punch out by Hardy of Ryan Williams, those were two.
And then what did
the block field goal before halftime?
What did Alabama do in their last game? Their special teams were a huge reason why they lost.
Got a punt blocked early in the game.
Georgia had a bunch of short fields. I mean, the
but my
blueprint
point
is
back
out
to
on Alabama.
My point back to the defense is Oklahoma has the better defense. And to me, in a rematch situation, the defense is only going to play better than they did the time before.
You would think so. And OU has a lot, like as we established at the top, they have a pretty significant amount of room that they could improve.
And I think when
they get R. Mason Thomas back,
should.
You know what's been interesting this year about OU, playing all these teams and playing this tough schedule, is I've really noticed how much respect other coaches have for Brent Venables in the coaching community. Because they would get questions all the time about Brent calling the defense, and they'd have to say, well, yeah, he's really good at that. Like, and they go into the technical part about we do this, he does that. I think Ben was asked yesterday about what makes him so difficult to go against, and he was just talking about all the things that he does defensively. And it really, I hate saying this, but like OU right now, they have maybe even better, but they have their Lincoln Riley, but he's just on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And he recruits better than Lincoln.
And he
probably evaluates better. He definitely evaluates better than Lincoln.
I would also say he, as a head coach, and I mean, I don't know, I can't believe we're getting into this now. Who's a better coach? What Brent has done on special teams too, like we forget, or maybe we don't forget, how bad some of the special teams units were under Lincoln Riley. It was just a neglected.
Yeah, it was a non-factor.
He does the same thing at USC.
He just wanted to get the ball back for his offense.
Right, and he does the same thing at USC. If you watch USC versus Oregon, special teams was a big reason why they lost that game in Eugene. So, I think Brent has figured out ways to win. Now he's just got to figure it out on offense, because I will say the 4 years that he's now been the head coach, the offensive side has kind of been – in 22, I mean, it was just bad all around. The roster was just not very good. But in 23, the defense statistically wasn't great, but it felt like the offense was constantly kind of not playing complementary football in big moments. And then obviously the last 2 years, the offense just hasn't been very good. So they got to figure out that side of the ball. But I see what you're saying, Kerry. And I also think in today's college football landscape, a team that has a great defense has a better chance of advancing in this sort of a playoff than one with just an unbelievable offense.
By the way, days like today, we have a lot of stuff going on. And I mean, we're on Campus Corner, so a lot of times we'll just walk down Pickleman's or Fuzzy's or whatever. But if I'm in the Edit Bay and we got a lot of stuff going on, I don't want to spend a bunch of money getting DoorDash. So I'll go in and just drink one of the Huel pre-made. It's like the BE powder, but it's already pre-made for you. And they have different flavors. I like the strawberry banana a lot. But Huel's one of those things, it helps you just get through your day if you're really busy, and it fills you up until you can get to dinner. And that's kind of a big thing that I use. And I like the Daily Greens a lot too. And I know, George, your wife is really taken to those.
Yeah, she loves them.
It is I don't know, people talk about superfoods all the time, but I don't know what is in lion's mane, but whatever that is in that stuff, it's like coffee on steroids. It'll get you going in the morning. But anyway, that's kind of what it's like for me, and why I appreciate it so much. They make healthy eating simple. They also just launched into Target stores nationwide. Try both products today. That's the Daily Greens and the BE Ready to Drink. Either the vanilla. I know Eddie has the vanilla, I think. But they make eating healthy simple, like I said. Try both products today with 15% off your purchase for new customers with our exclusive code SoonerScoop at www.huel.com/SoonerScoop. That's HUEL, www.huel.com/SoonerScoop. Use that code. Also, fill out the post-checkout survey to help support the show. Tell them you heard about it from the Sooner Scoop guys, and they'll take care of you. But the Be ready to drink the Black Edition, 35 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 essential vitamins and minerals, no added sugar, gluten-free, under $5 a meal, and it's ready to go. So, Huel.com/Soonerscoop.
I had a uncle that enjoyed hunting, and he had a quail ranch down in Riviera, Texas. And every once in a while, he would have special dignitaries come down to go hunting with him. And one of those happened to be Dick Cheney, rest in peace, the former U.S. vice president. And they always said that when Dick Cheney unfortunately shot Harry Whittington, they wish that he would have been wearing hollow socks because his feet would have been so comfortable in doing so. And, I've been telling George that he's going skiing and hollow socks. That would be something that I would send him with to go up into the mountains. What are hollow socks? Alpaca socks built for the field. Performance-grade socks made from ultra-soft baby alpaca fibers engineered for rugged conditions and designed to keep your feet dry, warm, and comfortable, no matter where the day takes you, even that ends up in a hospital after you shoot somebody while you're hunting. The only socks that will keep your feet warm below freezing and then cooled off when it hits 80 degrees. And the best part, in my opinion, they're made in the United States of America. Over 2 million pairs sold. Once you wear hollow, you'll never go back to wool or cotton socks ever again. For a limited time, Hollow Socks is having a buy two, get two free sale. Head to hollowsocks.com today to check it out. That's Hollow Socks for up to 50% off your order. And after you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. You can tell them that the fine people with the Unofficial 40, Soonerscoop.com, sent you to hollowsocks.com.
All right, so
That was a heck of an ad read.
that was...
You're welcome.
You can weave a tale, Mr. Radosevich, let me tell you.
Rest in peace to Dick Cheney.
He is dead, isn't he?
Unfortunately, yes.
Can we all agree,
Maybe.
no matter what happens
Dick Reiner should be in jail, yes.
on Friday on Friday night, that this season has been a pretty damn good success for
I
the
say
program?
yes right now with the...
You definitely, Eddie.
Subject
You're the
to-
one I'm worried about because I know
I
when they
say
lose
yes
on
right
Friday
now.
night, you will melt down on the
are you
pod.
picking Alabama?
I'm picking Alabama for the sake of the Crimson Corner.
Well, yeah.
I'm a man of the people.
But differently. Or yeah. I told you on the way back from the LSU game, you're going to hope to hold me accountable that what they've been able to do this year has reinvigorated the fan base. It certainly has gave a little bit more leeway into thinking that Brent Venables and the staff are going to be able to get this done for the foreseeable future and on into the future, like setting the foundation for what they're trying to build. So in that regard, yes, it's been a success. I do think if you went out and lost on Friday night, that it would be a little disappointing, just in that you're playing in your home backyard. I expect an atmosphere
Insane.
almost like we've never seen before at the stadium. Yeah. Like I don't really, I kind of know what to expect. I feel like I've certainly been at every big game down here since probably the better part of like 1995. I just don't really know what to expect, what it's going to look like. Can this place get louder than what it has been for some of the louder stadium pops that we've seen, over the last 25 years, really?
I think it's about kickoff when I checked this morning. Scheduled to be high 40s, low 50s.
Yeah, it's going to be relatively very comfortable for
not bad.
December 19th in Oklahoma.
Let me ask you a question, because are you going to – is there a piece of you, George, that might want to crack the press box window just to take in the atmosphere a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll be wearing my nice coat.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're very proud of his new coat.
I am very proud
I think
of
I'm
it.
going to try to sneak down a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be contained in the press box. This is the first time I've been.
Well, I probably wouldn't say
not
it on the
on-
podcast that you're going to do
I
that.
know exactly.
I can't go see my parents.
Oh, okay.
They can't let me not go see my parents.
I thought you meant onto the field.
Oh no. I know I can't.
I
do
know
that.
how you feel, Eddie, because I tried to go to the first time I tried to go down on the field, and this is what it was. My friend went to his first OU Texas game after his parents died, and I told him I was going to come and sit with him. And I was in the press box. I couldn't do it. It was too I can't not be in the press box where I've been for 20 years in a row for that game. And so, we went out to dinner and everything, hung out and stuff, but I just couldn't sit down. So I know how you feel. Like your place in games is down on the field.
Well, I just feel like I'm not going to know what to do during the game because usually I don't have any internet connection down there, so the tweets will be a-flying on Friday night, and which is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. This is the first time that I think that I will not be on the field for an OU football game outside of the COVID stuff. I think since 2011. I think it's that Florida State game. Because even in the playoff games, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, ESPN owns the rights to the game, so nobody can shoot the game. So there won't be a whole lot of cameras and stuff down on the sidelines. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the first game since 2011 outside of COVID that I won't be down on the field, which is kind of weird. It's definitely weird not going to have video and stuff from the game, but it is what it is.
It's the dumbest thing ever, too, because
it really is.
You're screwing over the local media. You're screwing over.
I just don't see how that's a bad thing.
At bowl games, yeah. I mean, nobody's
you're promoting.
Nobody's
college
taking
athletics
away from ESPN's, who has 7 million cameras in the stadium from every angle, and they're worried about some guy with standing in the end zone filming the game.
I don't know what the ultimate what is the reason for rights
stupid.
And stuff.
I mean, it fucking pisses me off. I hate
Why is it different than ESPN owns the rights to the SEC.
I know.
Why is that different?
And Josh, it's even weirder too because if OU would have gone to play in I guess under the new playoff structure, it's a little bit different. But if OU would go play in the Cotton Bowl, if it wasn't part of the playoff mix, you could go shoot that. I could go shoot OU Florida COVID season. We were up in the stands because of the COVID stuff.
But it was the first time you've gotten to be close to the field and shoot.
It's just weird. Even during the playoff stuff, we were able to at least go down on the field. It just, I don't know. It's kind of stupid. But either way.
It's not kind of. It's stupid.
We're excited for the coverage to come from the press box. It'll be a little bit unique. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be boisterous in there. You think people are going to get upset?
You'll get kicked out.
Yeah, you'll get kicked out.
They won't kick me out.
They will kick you out.
They can't do that to me.
Barry Trammell will kick you out.
Well, I'm not gonna try to piss off Barry.
That's like saying if Carrie won't tow me if I keep parking in a spot. Yes, I will, and I've done it.
I'm saying I'm not going to be obnoxious, but
it sounds like you are.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be a captain up there. I'm gonna be a captain of the press box. I'm electing myself captain. We can eliminate people that we know aren't going to be the captains if we want to do that on a different show. If you zoomed into a press conference this
I'm trying
week,
to think of who
you're out.
Who you would rile up the most by just being kind of
probably
obnoxious.
the people that don't like me would probably be the
I'm thinking
the
there's not really a lot of old school
what if I get in a fight
writers
with somebody?
left these days. I think Trammell would tolerate you just fine.
Me and Tram are cool, though.
Jenny Carlson, you piss her off for sure.
That's fine. Don't set me up like that, Carrie.
I was like, oh, man.
George, you want to throw out some uptight people?
No,
I'm kidding.
Anyone that
I'm kidding.
works in Oklahoma Sports Radio.
OKC Sports Radio?
Yeah, OKC Sports Radio.
Josh, I told the guys yesterday, because they make you say your name and affiliation. I almost said Kerry Murdoch, OKC Sports Radio.
No, but you said, what did you say though?
I noticed you're not.
I said
you're not in the drive time slot though in the afternoons, Kerry.
What station is that? Anyway,
I
said, did I say something bad about Brent.com? Because he talked about the ultimate line that he said yesterday was
so funny.
I don't take it personally, but I remember.
Yeah, he was like,
When
I don't
people
hold
say
it.
bad,
You know what he said? He said,
I don't hold it.
I don't hold on to it, but
Yeah.
I remember. And I was like, well, isn't that the same thing?
He was
That's
smiling
the same
though.
thing.
Yeah, it was funny.
I had the same thought, George.
It's a funny shot.
But it is funny because he continues to say every game's the biggest game of my career. It's like, yeah, I wrote
It
that.
actually
And I said
is,
that.
though. We
And it
talked
was-
about that
That's
all
not
the time.
fabricated.
Someday I want to sit. Maybe
that
after the
doesn't make
season,
it untrue.
I'd love to sit down with Brent, maybe over a beer, and just be like, every game was the biggest, right?
He'd be like,
you
yeah,
know that,
I
right?
know. He'd be like, yeah, I agree. It was.
That leads into what we have coming this week from you, George. You got a big story about the people that are the ultimate decision makers, really. In all this.
I have pieced together I think a pretty good and revealing look back a little bit on how Brent was hired, and also how this season has kind of given, I don't know, affirmation, validation that they got it right.
Can we say that they did? Like, is it officially that
I don't
moment,
know.
or do they need to do more?
I think that
I think what it is it's not that it's fit. This is all done. He's the coach forever. It is right now. The people who hired him are very happy that they hired him. And things are going as well as they would hope that they had gone.
I think for them, Eddie, it certainly is a moment of affirmation. I think that obviously the goal still ultimately is to win a national championship. And I don't know if you can really say that it was right until that happens, But I think that this year has finally given them that moment, because you think back, like 2023 was a good season, but I don't think anybody was sitting there after the season being like, yep, Brent is the guy. He is. We are all in. We feel great about this. And I'm not saying everybody feels that way after this season. I think somewhat depends on what happens on Friday. But I think that the people in power certainly, and I'm not talking about just the people inside the university. And you'll see I have someone quoted in this story that has a lot of power or has a lot of dollars.
Pull,
and this is, I think this season has finally given them that moment of, we got this right, and we feel good about this.
And what you're saying is not that they run the OU football program, but they are heard. They are listened to.
Yeah. They're involved.
Yeah, they're involved, and they matter.
Their opinion matters.
Yes.
Yep.
Or the money dries up.
Yes. So make sure to check that out on Soonerscoop.com.
I'm looking forward to it.
$1.
It's exciting that we can even have this conversation, because I think that whether you go back to the drive back to Kansas City from Columbia, or any of the conversations that we had maybe after OU Texas or Ole Miss, about a month and a half ago, I don't know if we ever thought that we would have these conversations, that they were going to be able to get through this or find ways to win close games in the fourth quarter. So it's certainly a culmination and a good moment for the program. I mean, you look at what they're doing in recruiting. You look at the on-field success, the way that people are talking about Oklahoma. It definitely feels like the month of November in 2025 is, if they're able to sustain this, going to be kind of that turning point that everybody will be able to go back and point to.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, this is a...
No, you can't turn around next year and just flop,
100%.
No, but when you were talking, I was thinking about this, George.
Or bang a staffer and get fired. And
oh, God. Give her a raise.
Yeah.
What I was, I think what this year has done, like you said, 10-2, it was a good season, but it didn't exactly hold. You lost Jeff Levy, right, after that season?
After 23, yeah.
And then the offense went to shit after that under Seth Luttrell. But you also were kind of like a team that had a few stars on it that were driving you. And Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, Dylan Gabriel was great. You thought Jackson Arnold was next in line. And what we found out this season is they lost, not the Jackson Arnolds, but they lost the Danny Stutzman, they lost the Billy Bowman, and the defense got better. They proved that they've started to stockpile talent, and
develop them,
and develop, and it all being homegrown. I mean, I call it that. I mean, recruited them out of high school. You've got portal guys, certainly, like Dominic Williams, Kendall Daniels, but the majority of those guys, the Kip Lewises, the Jaden Jacksons, the David Stones, Taylor Wine. I mean, R. Mason. Like, I know some of those guys are not going to be here, but they've proven that they can build not just a really good defense, but a deep defense. Now they just got to do that on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I think that you're starting to see the development. Just it is coming full send. And, you go back to even the all-SEC teams. I don't think that any of us thought that they were going to get 10 guys on the first three, first, second, third teams. It's been kind of incredible. to watch. And I still remember back to some of the conversations that we had in 17, 18, 19. It was like, I just want him to get 2 punts a game, force 2 punts. And now it's how many turnovers can you force or how many tackles for loss can you have by some of these guys that have been able to be developed. It's been kind of special to watch.
And this is not
you can truly appreciate it now that they've kind of gotten to this point. I thought the question that Trammell asked Brent yesterday just about getting to the college football playoff, is that becoming a little bit of a barometer on how good of a coach are you actually? It is something that should be celebrated, even though I know a lot of people, I would say 60, 70% of the people or the Oklahoma fan base feel like that's to be expected when you're at Oklahoma. And just coming off of last year where I know that, George, you've probably gotten the same in some of the interviews that you've done outside of the Oklahoma hemisphere, if you will, that, I think last year was so embarrassing for so many people, including the people that you wrote about. It was kind of a sign that, okay, maybe things aren't as completely effed as we thought it was going to be or that it actually was.
The Who's down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
Yeah. And I think that there's, it's important too to say there was no one behind the scenes that ever really faltered, or at least it didn't, I haven't heard that.
It was never close to just being fired.
Right. But think about all the bad shit that happened last year. Even remember when Zach Alley left for West Virginia and we were just I remember getting DMs from people from across the country or text from national media, people what the hell is going on in Norman?
Yeah.
It's a disaster. And, and I remember too thinking we had conversations when Brent decided that he was going to call the defense, and it was can he do that and be the head coach and do it at a high level? We all knew he'd be a great defensive play caller, but I think the job that he's done in terms of managing this team this year is easily, let me ask you guys this. It's the best coaching job by an OU head coach since when? This season?
I mean, probably 99.
I don't know. Bob Stoops had some good years where he navigated, the 2014 season, was it, or the 2013 season where they ended up winning 10 or 11 games. They beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. That was a damn good coaching job.
I've said many times that's one of the best regular seasons in OU history.
Yeah, I think that's up there. I mean, I think Lincoln...
It didn't result in a championship.
Lincoln deserves some credit for, the 2019 season, I thought. I think this season's maybe more impressive, but, Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, George. No, sorry. I was gonna throw in the Paul Thompson season. Yeah. Where that all could have gone so bad, and they found a way early in that year. That's I always want to say 06, but it's 05. You're right. But yeah, sorry, George, I interrupted your whole point. But
so you're saying the Jalen Hurts year?
Yeah, the Jalen Hurts year I thought was just the way that they kind of pieced that team together. Now they didn't play the opponents that Oklahoma has this year, so I would say this year's a better coaching job. But I think just to neglect Lincoln Riley is not fair to him. He did a pretty good job.
2015 wasn't a bad coaching job, just the turnaround from Lincoln's side of things with the offense, especially, at halftime of that Tennessee game from then on. And, certainly Bob played a part of that.
And that's why
steady, if you will.
I would say this is the best coaching job since that year for Oklahoma. Because of where this thing was a year ago, having the narrative around the team,
sure.
the schedule. I mean, they certainly have never faced a schedule like they faced this year to get to this point. And obviously, I mean, if they keep winning, if they win on Friday, it's only going to get better and better, the coaching job of this season.
Well, I think that, that's where the conversation just in terms of how big some of those plays were that they had on the back end of the schedule during Red November. The R. Mason Thomas play, the 71-yard scoop and score, it's become bigger today than it was at the time, hasn't it? Because of where it kind of projected this team into.
Yeah, I think with time, because like right now people think, oh well, then Tennessee got beat by Vanderbilt. They weren't really that good. Like with time, that kind of stuff fades, and it's just a singular game that was a big game, and you don't sit there and say, well, Tennessee kind of faltered down the stretch. They weren't really like it's like nobody goes back to like when in 2000 with the interception against Texas A&M. Nobody really compares like, okay, how good was that A&M team really? You just don't care about that stuff.
You don't even think about it.
No. And it was a good A&M team. But
sure.
Well, and for that Tennessee game, you've got to give OU credit. They're kind of the ones that they kind of put the death knell in Tennessee. Like that was when they weren't going to the playoffs. Like that changed everything. Yeah. And they didn't look the same after that. Like I'm not saying they were like a great team. They weren't. But like they were solid. They were certainly better. They were better than what they put on the field against Vanderbilt. They finally against Vanderbilt they just quit.
Yeah. And that's how the SEC works. I mean, everybody's a contender until they're not. LSU was third in the country at one point this season.
That's crazy.
So
but it is true.
So yeah, I mean, it's an accomplishment. Somebody asked Brent yesterday, like, what would it finally mean to win a playoff game? I was like, it wouldn't mean anything. This is 1 of 12. It's not 1 of 4. Like when OU was losing playoff games, they were one of the 4 best teams in the country because they only had 4 teams. Like you're 1 of 12 now. I mean, this doesn't.
I still think
erase,
it means something.
It means something. But what I'm saying is, this doesn't erase like any kind of hard feelings that someone had because Kyler Murray lost to Alabama, or
I think it will certainly help with the perception of where Oklahoma is from a national standpoint, and
certainly not going to wipe away that LSU loss.
Whatever would happen at the Rose Bowl, you'd never know. But I do think, like from a national perspective, it would certainly help because I think there's a lot of people that look at this Alabama team as a team that shouldn't be in the playoffs, just as much as the same could be said for Oklahoma. I think there's people that look at them as kind of the
they tried to make that argument until it
ugly
clearly
duckling,
became,
if you will.
It clearly became a Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama argument. So I don't know. I mean, the legacy of it and all that stuff. I think what you should take out of it is kind of what George was talking about. It's been a really good season, and we'll let Eddie decide if it's not.
Yeah, we'll
after
see.
The Alabama game.
It's up to a bunch of 18 and 21-year-olds. I mean, get your shit together, right?
Josh, anything we need to hit on in recruiting right now? Any talk or thoughts or watches out there for commitments at any point coming up?
No, I think what you're really watching is, we talked about it earlier. There's going to be a couple of guys that I would expect to make decisions at the Navy game in San Antonio on January 10th.
They could go OU's direction.
Yeah. Taven Epps, most notably, the former Texas commitment. He has not come out and absolutely said he's going to make a decision that day. At least if he has, I've missed it. But like that would have been in the last 24 hours. But there is there's been nothing to say that that's going to happen. There's been a lot of belief for a while that he's going to make an announcement at the game. And then Devin Robertson, the big defensive lineman from Mississippi that came in for the LSU game, he's a 3-star. People may look at it and say, I don't know. OU loves this kid. And he's a defensive tackle. I think you can trust Todd Bates when he likes a guy and wants a guy, especially from the Southeast. Yep. Okay, you can be in on that guy. So they like him a lot. I think Oklahoma's in a good spot for him following his visit. He's going to announce at the game. Like I said, I'll be down there for several days that week. We'll have a lot of coverage out of that. But right now, I mean, you can tell it's not any different than this podcast. The staff's focus. They're certainly doing the recruiting kind of. What was the old Jay Norvell thing, Kerry, where he'd say it's like shaving. You got to do it every day. I mean, they're doing their due diligence, but their focus is absolutely on Friday night against Alabama.
Well, it was interesting because Ben Arbuckle got to talk about Bo Bentley yesterday. I think Brent threw Jonathan Hatton's name out there at one point yesterday, maybe.
He was just talking about relationships and how they, DeBarco was able to flip him at the end, if I remember correctly.
So
I will say I did have that. Reminds me of one thing. Talking to the guys I've been checking off the list of all the guys who are going to enroll early, and I think we are now at the only ones I don't think are going to be in Norman in January are Daniel Norman, the defensive end from St. Thomas Aquinas, and ZZ from Rejoice. I just don't have them confirmed. That's the only two that I don't have. And that don't show up in OU's database, all the stuff that you can use to check this, aside from just the players themselves. Those are the only two. So, I mean, you're looking at like a 22-player influx, come January of new guys in Norman.
Josh, I went and saw ZZ and Rejoice Christian in the state championship game last Thursday. You can definitely see, he feels like one of those guys. I wrote this on the message board. He feels like one of those guys that Oklahoma probably wouldn't have taken over the last however many years. And you look up in 3 or 4 years and it's like, oh, that guy's an all-conference player at Kansas State or, Iowa State or something. Like, why didn't OU recruit him? He definitely has some, and when you throw in the fact that he's only been playing football for 2 years, you can definitely see some ability for growth in his game.
Can I try the name one time?
So long.
Yeah.
Xavier Okwafulazi?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. ZZ. Everybody calls him ZZ.
Yeah. And he's very clear. Like, you can tell, like, Xavier, he doesn't know how to respond to it. I guess since he was a kid, everybody just called him ZZ. Like, you go to practice, school, that's what they call him. So, anyway, but yeah, I mean, Eddie, you're right. Like, everybody's got to be patient with the kid. He's coming from Class A in Oklahoma. He hasn't played a lot of football. He's very lean. He's got a basketball player's build right now. But if they can put some weight on him, again, guys, like Eddie, you saw him. Like, his arms, his reach is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it really is. It's a rare thing he can kind of do. But again, in that game, like,
has some natural ability too. Like, he had an interception in the game, and it was definitely like kind of a wounded duck that was thrown up there by Tonkawa. But for him to just make the ability to find the ball in the air and turn and run and bring it down, it was a nice play.
Well, and Eddie, I know his one touchdown was just a short catch, and then he dodged the defender and ran for like 40-something yards. I know you had the video of that.
He had two.
Yeah, the other one I couldn't quite remember. If that was a longer pass,
kind of a long bomb down the sideline from Compton Nero, who he was the best player on the field. I don't even think there was any doubt about it. Like, he throws a really nice football. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be a quarterback, but he was the best, just pure athlete on the field.
Watching him reminds me a lot of watching like young Elijah Thomas, like where you're just like, this dude is so much better than everybody else. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, anything else we want to hit on recruiting, Josh?
Well, I guess we give a little shout out to Crew Jones. That happened during the pod here. He just got announced as the Utah Gatorade Player of the Year as a junior, which is obviously always a impressive feat and tells you the kind of guy OU has landed there.
Some pretty good ball played out in Utah too, amongst the kind of those upper echelon teams. It seems like there's more and more guys coming out of Salt Lake City these days.
Yeah, I mean, you had Corner Canyon go play St. Francis, last weekend. Corner Canyon, big time program, and Ridgeline, like we said, I think they won their state title game 59-0. I think it's kind of like Las Vegas, or kind of like Nevada, in that like there's 3 or 4 teams that are really, really good, and then after that there's a drop. But those teams at the top can really play.
All right, Bedlam basketball last weekend. Sooners looked really good, both men's and women especially. But the men, giving Oklahoma State their first loss, and I'm sure for a lot of people that might have been the first time they tuned in, but Nigel Pack was pretty much everything that you brought him in here to be in that game.
And Xavier Brown.
Xavier Brown is the best game he's had in an Oklahoma uniform. 21 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from behind the arc. Oklahoma finished as a team with 13 threes. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but their offensive efficiency right now, it's by far the best offensive team that Porter Moser's had, ranked, I think, top 30 right now.
It feels like if they can just figure it out defensively, and they had some good moments in the OSU game down the stretch where they got some stops. If they can figure it out defensively, they'll be a pretty good team.
I think they're still light front court wise, but I say that, and I thought that even though you look at the box score, he only played 13 minutes, grabbed 2 rebounds. Kai Rogers is starting to play a little bit more. He's starting to come on a little bit more and maybe earning a little bit more trust from Porter Moser to be out there. So really encouraging win. You look at the rest of the schedule.
Moaggy's got to stop hitting people in the head.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know why and how that
just has
he's just so gangly.
He's gangly.
But he has a couple plays every game where you're like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah. he definitely does that. They out-rebounded Oklahoma State by 10, I believe. I think it was 46-36 is what it ended up. Really good win. I think Oklahoma State's going to be okay. Certainly they did not shoot the ball
Played a lot of hero ball and just shot terribly.
Yeah, Steve Lutz was not happy about that after the game. I kind of feel like that's how they're going to play, though. They're either going to knock down shots and protect home court and maybe have to steal a couple games on the road in a really, really good Big 12, or you might be on the outside looking in to the NCAA tournament when it's all said and done. But all in all, good stretch. I know the Arizona State loss was kind of ugly or very ugly, but you still went 3-1. I think at the beginning of that 4-game stretch, you said they need to win 3 of 4, and they were able to beat Marquette. You were able to, come back and beat
Wake Forest.
And then obviously the Arizona State game. So, one thing that Bob has brought up multiple times, I think their 3 losses currently are combined 30-3.
Yes.
Nebraska's still undefeated. They go to Champaign over the weekend and win by 3. Any apologies yet for Nebraska?
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
I'm still holding out until a little bit longer.
Okay, that's fine. And then we'll see. Their next 3 games are all obviously extremely winnable. They're all 3 bye games. They have UMKC in town tonight, who I don't know how to put it lightly. Like, they are one of the worst teams in the country.
Do you think over these next 3 games before SEC plays, they'll just play Kai Rogers a ton, try and get him some more? Yeah,
I would. And you should be able to do that. I mean, you should be playing in games where you're getting a bunch of guys minutes that maybe don't play a whole lot. I feel like
getting Jadon Jones back was pretty big, too. He came down and hit some big threes early in that game.
Hit some really big threes, especially in the first half, and then again had a couple of big defensive plays that led to transition baskets in the second half when Oklahoma State was really making that run. I don't know if I necessarily like the 2 corner threes that he took with under 4 minutes left, but
great.
That's something to work on. Something to look at on the tape on the watch back. So all in all, not bad.
I liked what I saw at Tay Davis.
You should get Tay Davis has been phenomenal.
He's good.
The second half that he had at Marquette, and then the entirety of the game of what he had in Winston-Salem against Wake Forest was phenomenal. And if
it just
you can
feels
just
like
get one of those guys each night, it's going to have to be kind of in pairs. Nigel Pack was nursing a little bit of it looked like an ankle injury at the end of the game in Bedlam. So we'll see what he looks like tonight. He is certainly one of the just one of the great pure shooters in the sport.
Every time he shoots it, I think it's going in.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because he has that set shot a little bit, but he gets it up. There's no doubt about it. And that kind of led into the women who, Aaliyah Chavez, the 4th time this season she's been named the Freshman of the Year or Freshman of the Week in the SEC. She's phenomenal.
They are really good. I say that I think there's still some they need to figure out a few things, but certainly.
Am I crazy? Or Brianna Stewart's starting to come on.
Brooklyn Stewart,
excuse me.
Brianna
Stewart played at UConn, right?
Yes. Brooklyn Stewart, though, yes. No, she's been a huge help. Her and Kaya Smith have really become the two. Kaya Smith's a sophomore. She's like a point forward type of player. She's been helping him out too. But yeah, Brooklyn Stewart comes in and they'll bring her in for Reagan Beers. And she's a different player than Reagan. Like, she's not going to just dominate in the paint, but she could step out and shoot and has a little bit of skill. And then they'll play her beside Reagan Beers, and it's just both those girls down there. It's just a kind of a dominant force. So
and
it was an impressive. That second half, man, against OSU, they just said, all right, the game's over.
At one point, it just felt like they were like, okay, we've kind of made this run. We've established ourselves. Now let's just throw it down low, and Reagan's going to do whatever she does.
Yeah, and but Jenny's got a squad. It's definitely the best team Jenny's had. You want to see him get a little bit better defensively, stop the turnovers. But that's somewhat kind of the way that they just play. That's just Jenny's style, and you kind of live and die by it. The funny thing is Peyton Verhulst really hasn't gotten going at all this year, and they're still just crushing people.
Yeah.
So, or winning games. I mean, the NC State win was a really impressive win a couple weeks ago, and then to beat an OSU team that's really been playing good basketball this year. They were ranked 23rd in the country. To just beat their ass basically in the second half was very impressive. So they're playing good, but they start out like, I think their SEC play. I want to say I don't know if it's their. I think they go to A&M, but then they have like back-to-back home games against South Carolina and LSU.
Texas A&M, that
terrible.
Okay, so Texas A&M. I'm trying to figure out home and away here. Okay, it's at Texas A&M,
Norman, or the other place.
I see it now. Mississippi State and Norman, Ole Miss and Norman, then Kentucky on the road, LSU in
Kentucky
Norman.
Still good?
I don't know. I think they lost that Georgia
the point guard girl.
Really
back to back LSU and South Carolina.
That's when it was like. That's when it's like, okay, that's when you're going to find out if they're in that next tier.
Yeah.
Because right now I think they're in a really good tier. I think they're a top 10, top 15 team.
Make the Sweet 16.
Make the Sweet 16, but can they be? Are they an Elite 8, Final 4 team? You're going to find out in those games.
It was cool being at the Paycom Center. I thought it was a awesome atmosphere. They need to make that an annual thing. I know that J.C. Hoyt, the Oklahoma State coach, she mentioned maybe juggling it back and forth between Oklahoma City and Tulsa at the BOK Center. Either or, they need to continue playing. Though I know that Porter Moser's been adamant that they need to try to keep Bedlam as much as possible. It's just it was a really cool event.
What was this deal about them wanting to move it to Tulsa? The OSU coaches.
I have no idea.
I guess they said post game both of them were banging the table for they want it to be in Tulsa because it's closer to Stillwater.
Sure, that's fine. I don't know.
It's like
I like both places.
30 minutes
BOK is awesome.
Closer.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, OSU had more fans there in Oklahoma City.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the way the football season went. You needed a win against OU.
Well, and both teams were good.
Yeah. It wasn't like as pronounced, I wouldn't say. Like I think on TV it looked a lot worse than maybe it actually was. I'd say like 60-40 though. It wasn't bad.
I know our boy T-Bag he's down bad after that. So
he's got the Bears.
That's what he keeps saying.
He's got the Bears. Bears are playing good football. Really good football.
Todd Bowles needs to be fired.
Caleb Williams is
you know
awesome.
Who the Buccaneers should hire?
Whom?
Lincoln Riley.
I knew you were going to say that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
He might take that job.
That would.
Oh my God!
That would be something.
The conflict for OU fans to become Buccaneers fans would be unbelievable.
I'd root for him still.
I think the love for
I'd
Baker
root for them, and I'd hate Lincoln the entire time.
Well, I'd be
every
like,
coaching decision.
Yeah,
I think the love for Baker would supersede the hate for Lincoln.
I think it does.
Ultimately,
yeah.
But every time they lost, it would not be Baker's fault. I know that.
Oh, it'd be that dumbass Lincoln Riley.
He would never suffer another loss again.
What about Sark to the Bucs?
Who's Michigan gonna hire?
I think it's gonna end up being Jed Fish. Because I think they're gonna end up striking out on DeBoer and Dillingham.
Dillingham keeps kind of laying some tea leaves, like never actually coming out and saying it. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of him kind of getting emotional, and I think it was a Michigan fan that tweeted it, but I think he's kind of right. Like
I just don't know.
If you were staying, would you get emotional if you knew? I really don't know.
I just think that the thing for Dillingham, I don't know. I mean, I would probably take the job if I were him. But I think it's such a shit show right now at Michigan that it might be for a coach like him a bit of a turnoff where you've got a good thing going.
100%.
You don't there's no pressure on you at Arizona State. You could stay another year and you're still going to be up for every big job that comes open a year from now. Whereas I think Jed Fish would jump immediately. I think if Michigan wants to hire Jed Fish, they'll get him tomorrow.
Yesterday. If they want him, they can get him yesterday.
The only thing with Dillingham,
and I think he's really good.
Jed Fish.
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I think
he is.
He was awesome when we talked to him at the Alamo Bowl way back when.
Yeah.
And he comes off because he was an NFL guy, right? And he came to college.
Yes, he was like a Bill Belichick guy.
He definitely comes off as somebody that wants to be in the NFL after being at that bowl game.
I don't know though, because he left the NFL to come to college
for a head coaching job, though.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like aiming to get back to. I don't know. Maybe he is aiming to be a.
He
NFL
just seemed to be
coach,
so
but,
direct, not like a college coach.
Yeah.
So I just kind of read NFL in him.
He should have never left.
He's left the NFL twice for college.
Has he?
Yeah, he was the Jaguars OC. I'm sure.
Didn't he go to Michigan for a year?
Yeah, that's where he went to Michigan. He was their quarterbacks coach for a couple years under Harbaugh.
He should have never left Arizona. I don't know what he was thinking.
I think the thing with Dillingham, though, is he frustrated with NIL?
I don't know what Arizona State's situation is.
I can't imagine it's great.
It doesn't seem like it's a great.
I mean,
also
Sam
don't know
Levitt
if it's
just left.
Terrible.
Is Levitt leaving, though, because the money or because he wants to try and go somewhere he can play for a national title?
I would just say
Maybe
that
a little bit of both.
I would say that if Arizona State had a shitload of money, he probably wouldn't have left.
Dude, the quarterback portal, it's
crazy.
Might be the best it's ever been right
Josh,
now.
do you see that statistic, 2023, 2024 5 stars?
Yes.
Only one has not entered the transfer portal, and it's Arch Manning, who, by the way, I have named my pre-off-season Heisman favorite in 2026. I'm the only person on record right now.
And you were one of the few questioning him in the preseason, Eddie. I mean, there's the video out there of you saying there were going to be moments. I mean, you and every OU fan, obviously. But
the thing that gets left out of that is that I think he's really, really good. And it was going to be an overreaction. I didn't think it was going to go as poorly as I thought, as it actually turned out.
He just had some really bad moments, that like the Ohio State was really bad. Florida, people will look at and be like, oh, he was terrible. No, he was running for his life that entire game. Florida was all over him. It was obviously not a Heisman winner, and he won't be the number 1 overall pick, and all the crazy shit that people threw on him, and people like blame him for. That's not his fault. He didn't do anything. He seems to be a pretty level-headed kid for the world he lives in.
That's not his fault, but it is his fault that they were forced to play Ohio State. I think the Manning family should take responsibility for that.
By the way, Josh, let me ask you this.
Well.
Of all the QBs in the portal right now, let's say Texas Tech needs a quarterback. If they could take whoever they wanted, who should they take?
I think they got their guy.
You think they're going Sorsby?
It kind of seems like it. His girlfriend transferred
the
from Cincinnati.
volleyball player.
She transferred to Cincinnati, and lo and behold, guess where she's going to go play next year?
She's going to Tech, yeah.
She's going to Texas Tech.
We know they have done some stuff like that. So that
I like the Sorsby kid, Josh.
I would rather have Lagway.
Sorsby's done it,
would be Lagway's a golden ticket. If you can get him right and you believe he's healthy, he's a 1-1
Am I the
player.
only one who is – I'm not out on Lagway, but I think he's a huge risk.
Oh, he is. He is. It's the shoulder. He shouldn't have – George, it reminds me of Baker that year in Cleveland. He was never right this year. He should have never played. He wasn't right, and he didn't look like that guy at all to me.
But is that why he threw 5 interceptions against LSU? That's the thing.
His
with me
play
is
didn't help him. I think Lagway's still unbelievable.
I think he's got tremendous talent.
We talked about this at the beginning of the season, though. Remember, I ran into a buddy that I don't know if we said this on air, but I know that I told you guys that he had been looked at by the Texas Rangers team doctor when he had been back in Dallas or back in Texas from Gainesville over the offseason, and they were basically telling him, like, you need surgery, you can't play this year. And he went ahead and played, and obviously it didn't go well.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh Hilton stay, our holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
So where do we think he's going to go?
LSU.
Kiffin, yeah.
Maybe.
Is that is that the rumor?
I mean, it seems
It
like
just makes sense.
in Raiola, I know the rumor is Miami, right?
Is it?
I didn't hear. I didn't
See,
know.
I would take Lagway 10 times out of 7.
Yes.
Over
I would agree with
Raiola.
that. I would agree with that.
And
now, who's Nebraska's quarterback going to be?
I
don't know what Nebraska's doing.
You might be wrong on Lagway. I think you were right on Matt Rule. I've officially come over to the is he this guy that everybody thinks he is? I've officially come over to that side.
It pains me. I've been a big Rule guy for a long time. It pains me a little bit.
Who was his quarterback at Baylor?
Well, it was Shapen, wasn't it?
Was it Shapen then?
Yeah. Shapen.
I think Shapen.
No, Jerry. What's his name? Is the guy he
Bohannon.
won?
Bohannon.
Yeah, he won. Yeah,
Jerry with the G.
Transferred to BYU.
Shapen was the next year.
Jerry with the J, right?
Yep.
Or G. Jerry with the G.
Yep, it was a G. And
Shapen
then
was the
they
year that he
benched him for Shapen, and then it wasn't the same.
Yeah, Shapen was the year that they beat OSU.
He was a freshman,
Big
right?
12 championship.
Yeah, Shapen started the game like 17-17.
No. We've got that all wrong. We're talking about Aranda. That's Aranda stuff.
That's right.
And that's me. A hand up. I've got that wrong.
It's the kid that went and played in the NFL, right? That had a cup of coffee at Baylor?
Charlie Brewer. That's who he was.
It was Brewer who got murdered by OU that night. It was never the same
That's
again.
right. Yeah, they almost decapitated him.
Yeah, that was bad.
You're thinking of the guy, Eddie, though, that transferred to Auburn.
Oh, yeah. Jack Stidham.
Stidham. Jarrett Stidham.
That went to Tech, ended up at Baylor. It was a whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Lived with a sporting goods store owner or something, didn't he?
Jarrett Stidham did?
Yeah, like he got taken in.
shady.
He got taken in by this guy that owns like not even a national chain, just like a big kind of Dick's ripoff.
I don't remember that.
Why didn't Baylor fire Aranda?
I don't know.
Weren't they terrible this year?
Yes. And they're terrible on defense.
They were terrible defensively. That's the deal. Like it'd be like if OU's offense was clicking and Brent couldn't stop anybody. Like it wouldn't make any sense. But
who was their OC this year?
It was Spavital.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were good offensively. Sawyer Robertson was like second team All Big 12 because he threw for 1 billion yards.
He's a sneaky draft guy for me. Like if like the Colts got him in the second round, I wouldn't be mad about it. I think he's got some juice.
More than 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. That was awesome yesterday or Sunday. It was awesome.
It's we're in the situation like early in the year. I was like, I just tank. I don't want to just burn this whole thing down. We need a quarterback. Anthony Richardson's not the guy. Daniel Jones plays well enough. We're going to draft like 15th overall. We're going to be horse shit. And I'm like, this is how you go nowhere in the NFL. So the whole thing just annoys me.
Well, the Colts were playing great until he got hurt.
They were starting to fade, and then they trade their first-round pick for Gardner, who is a great player, obviously. But you're just like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. Like they're not going anywhere. Daniel Jones is not taking you anywhere you want to go.
He might have been able to.
Who did Minshew play for this weekend?
Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, he came in after
Mahomes got hurt.
That's right.
It was a bad day for injuries, for the ACL injury on Sunday.
Indianapolis is set up so well. They should have gotten Jameis Winston. Let that crazy bastard lead him to a championship.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would have been awesome.
He's selling quarter zips now.
He's tutoring, or he's been a mentor for Jackson Dart, who seems to have this unique fascination or fixation with wanting to die on a football field. It's really weird. It's like at some point, dude, just get out of bounds, get down, don't take another hit.
He spent way too much time with Cam Skadaboo. Like, you guys got to stop hanging out.
Got a lot to live for. You're dating a super model now. Like, come on.
Aaron Rodgers,
or an influencer.
Aaron Rodgers might be back.
No, I think they played the Miami Dolphins. I think that was more of. Did you guys watch that Monday night game last night or any
Bits
of it?
and pieces of it.
By the fourth quarter, I thought Troy Aikman was going to go down to the sideline and strangle Mike McDaniel. It was just weird. They're down by 21 and they're like huddling up, and then they start taking timeouts with 2 minutes left. Joe Buck and Troy were both, I think, disgusted with the operation that the Miami Dolphins threw out last night.
I got caught watching the Manning cast.
The Dolphins have a unique fascination with, like, when they're bad, they look like the worst team to ever play professional football.
Well,
they're bad.
Part of the problem is Tua can't play in temperatures under 50 degrees.
Well, he can't. He was just coming on. He was on a 1-game winning streak when they beat the Jets. It was the first time he had won a game under 46 degrees. So now he's like 1-9. Pretty good football, though, in the National Football League. Excited for the playoffs, though. Saturday is going to be awesome.
I think the Rams are going to take it again.
They might. They look really, really good. They got a big game coming up on Thursday against the Seahawks. The Seahawks win. It's a massive game for Sam Darnold. If the Seahawks win, I think they will have the inside edge to clinch the West. And you have the 49ers are still in it too. They're somehow 10-3. NFC West is awesome. There's a good chance that a 11 win NFC team doesn't make the playoffs.
That is wild. The NFC is just nasty.
All right, I think we're good. Eddie, you made it. You survived.
It was rough there to start. I thought we were in for one.
I got jumped. Did you guys see the? Well, I'll just bring it up afterwards. It's not fit for air.
Okay, good.
There was a murder.
Okay. Yeah, Rob Ryder and his wife, kid.
Not Rob.
Kids.
Not Rob. That sounds like a terrible, tragic situation. This one even more tragic down in Alabama.
Did you hear, like, they left? It was Conan O'Brien was having a party, and they were at it.
Yeah.
And they left arguing.
Yeah.
And then he went and killed his parents.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Josh, I know your girls will never do that to you and Tiffany, so.
Let's hope not. We had Layla's 8th birthday yesterday, so shout out to Layla.
Layla.
Birthday girl.
Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Josh, your birthday's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 more days. Wow. I am forgotten, obviously. That doesn't – between Christmas and Layla, I kind of just get whatever I get.
Is it Brent's birthday in 2 days, too?
It is. We have the same birthday. Brad Pitt as well. It's very.
Do you guys trade birthday
text
messages?
Yeah, we have before. It's been a long time. I would feel super weird about it.
You should start it back up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, George. We'll be back, hopefully planning a trip to L.A. Well, it'll have to be planned Friday night. I'll be hitting purchase tickets as soon as the well, you guys might have to do it because I'll be down on the field.
Should just do it now.
Oh, now you believe in this team?
I think I've been on record. I think they're winning the national championship.
Okay. I
remember that from August.
I don't know what that laugh's about, Josh.
Excuse me, post Ole Miss. I remember that feeling very clearly.
It's called the slow play, and someday we'll teach you about it.
We would go. I mean, that would be epic. We would go from L.A. to Atlanta to Miami.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
That would never have been done in the history of Sooners.
With a stopover in, I'm telling you, we should just get an RV and just go on the road for a month.
You guys are basically living like Ryan Fitzpatrick's life.
The start of the trip will be me explaining to Aaron why George isn't going to be home for a month and a half.
We can bring Scoops with us.
Scoops would love that.
Georgia, if you had to have someone to have that conversation with your wife, who would it be, and why is Eddie absolutely the last choice?
It'd probably be you, Josh.
I think that's the move you want to make, buddy.
You've been there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know how mad it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad, and I'm ready for it.
Here's a Benjamin. We'll bring George back in a month.
That would not go well.
No, I don't think it would.
All right, that's going to do it. We'll be back again next week. to either wrap up a season or keep it going. So thanks for listening.
Coming for you, Signati.
Did you say f*** him in the face at some point in this podcast?
Yeah. Hypothetically. Not actually.
Okay, we're still rolling. All right, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week for another edition of the Unofficial 40 podcast right here on Soonerscoop.com.